Hello and welcome back to Horse Racing Today for a terrific Trifecta Thursday with Terry Hay over at Aqueduct today. Mr. Terry, how are
Yeah,
you doing today?
I'm doing good. Yeah, everything's fine. Had a
All
great
right,
day
cool.
yesterday. So,
That's good. We all had good days. Sometimes I'm glad you had a fantastic day yesterday.
well,
It's
not
always
at
nice to have
Not
fun.
at Turfway Park, but but other things.
Yeah, you can, I mean, like I said yesterday, you just probably need a random number generator there for
Yeah.
sure. Well, you don't need a random number generator to get some free picks today at Mahoning Valley. There's a link in the description down below for that, for guaranteed tip sheet. Please use that so they know where it is you're coming from. You'll see in the first race right there, the opening pick is That's a Fancy Fox as a best bet. So, again, link in the description below. Well, first race at Aqueduct coming up, Terry, in just a couple of minutes. So let's go about our work, and then we'll cover a couple of other bases.
All right, sounds good to me. This first race is 6 furlongs. The maiden claiming race, $30,000 claiming price, purse 40,000 for maidens, filly 2-year-olds.
Yes, indeed. And to win a 6 furlong race at the Aqueduct course, well, as you can probably imagine, you got to be fast. Early speed wins 46% of the time on the wire. Your post positions are mostly fair, 1 through 7. You get a little bit of extra juice if you run from 8 and out. That's not the case today. We have 1,000 simulations, Terry. We want to see who has the best chance in this 5-horse race to get the lead. And then we isolate their best performances to see which horses are going to get races that look a lot like their top efforts. Q30 scores of 30 or more are horses worth watching. We also want to see our simulation odds lower than post-time odds, Terry. And Par Plus, this is how many times a horse runs a speed figure equal to or above the Brisnet Par speed figure of 78. Take it away with who's got all the early speed.
Well, as you can see there, that 4 and the 3 have similar speeds. Four's got a little more. They could go head to head to that quarter pole. The 2 has an overlay from 5-1 to 8-1. The 5 has an overlay from 7-2 to 15-1. 7 has an overlay from 9-2 to 15-1. All but the 4 show Par Plus numbers, and the 3, 5, and 4, 3, and 5 show the C zones. With the 3 and the 4 having really nice Q30s.
Along with that, the simulations, we do pace handicapping, trip handicapping. Helps if I have the right screen open, but I pressed the wrong number 1 before the show started. The 3-horse is a lone E type. The C wants to close. So far, the 4 hasn't been within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line, and the 2 and the 7, today's their first day at the track. I see I'm having some internet issues. Terry, if we look at the horses with some experience, it looks like the 4 is the quickest of the bunch. The horses with experience at the end, the 3 is the quickest of the bunch. Who do you think is going to be the quickest to the finish line?
I think the 3. Carol said no. She drops a class today. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. Switches to high percentage winning jockey. Has a good 3 furlong workout on December 7th. 4, the young at heart, has a high percentage winning jockey. Her early running speed style will help her chances, and she has a good workout on December 6th. Game like Rihanna, the 2 is my third choice. She's a first-time starter whose dam has 3 winners from 4 starters. And then the 5, I heard something. Somethings is my long shot. She drops in class today. No additional bets here.
I don't know what the hell's going on, but there's a lot of internet goofiness today. But game like Rihanna, the 2-horse, none of the horses in this race have hit par yet. So I'm going to take the first timer that has a back bullet. Carol said no. If she can rerun her Monmouth race, it would be an easy win. It looks like that's what the bettors are counting on. Big favorite. The 4-horse, Young at Heart, that one. Top last race speed figure, 3 points better than the next closest horses and should be out front. And then finally, My Daughter's Gift is the other first-time starter. And quite frankly, when you look at speed numbers for these horses, there really isn't a whole lot to beat in this race. I am going to put a little bit of my $100 budget to work right here, Terry. I'm going to do 20 to win, 10 to play. So that's not the 5. It's supposed to be the 2. I don't know why I got the 5 there. The 2 is my top pick. So there we go. Now watch, the 5 is going to win for sure, right?
Yeah, had 15-1 too.
Yes. Well, that's how that usually goes. I have no idea what's going on with my internet at the moment. I hate technology.
Giving you fits, huh?
Oh my God, everything is clicking around, going in circles. I don't know. Maybe because it's cold out and everybody's home, everyone's on the internet, but that shouldn't be a problem. All right, so they're off and running. Well, my 2-horse, it broke really badly. So the first time starter, not going to be in the picture today, folks. Matter of fact, it looks like he doesn't even want to run. Way in the back. Well, I hope that's not an indication how the rest of the day is going to go.
Yeah, we hope not.
So down around the corner they go. The 4-horse has the lead. Then you have the 5-horse probably going to win. The 7-horse is in that mix too. The other first-time starter. Here comes the 3-horse. He looks like he's going to try to rally. Well, the 4 and the 7 really haven't worked very hard. The jockey on the 3 is asking him to go. 2-horse is trying to make up some ground. He's going to come up the rail there. Maybe I don't know what's going to go on with that, but that horse is just jogging right now. I don't know. Maybe that 2-horse can get up in there for second. It's going to be close to see. He doesn't have the courage to go through the pole there. Maybe he's going to come on and win, Terry. I don't know. Although the other horse on the outside is doing pretty well. I think if the 2-horse gets a better break, folks, he's going to be your winner, but he's not your winner today. It's going to be the favorite, the 3, then the 2. If that 2 breaks sharper, it's your winner, folks. If I were everybody, you have those things where you watch your horses, your horse watching list. I'd put the 2 at the top of that list there because that one came out of the gate really slow. And a better start, and that one would have hit the tape first.
Yeah, he finished
you ready?
pretty good.
Yeah, he did. I mean, a better start, and he comes out all right. So hopefully at least I got my $30 back off of the show bet, but I doubt it with the heavy favorite winning. All right, Terry, let's talk about race number 2. Hopefully my internet holds up and starts to perform a little bit better.
Yep, I hope so. We're going to shorten to 6 furlongs. We're going to go at 6 furlongs. It's a claim race, $16,000 claiming price, $32,000 purse for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races or 3-year-old fillies.
Just like the first race with 6 furlongs, early speed does best. 46% of the time it goes wire to wire. Your post positions are mostly fair, 1 through 7. Get a small bump from 8 and out. Terry, again, we do 1,000 simulations. So in race number 2, who's got the best chance to be forward in this one?
Well, if you can look there, they've all got some speed, but the middle 3 have the most speed. It's really anyone's guess, I think. And then that 3 has an overlay from 11 to 1 to 12 to 1. All of the horses but 6 have a C-zone, and all of them have, Par Plus, and all have C-zones.
Yeah, so we're looking for a 50% score or more. The only one with that is Irish Jackson. The 5-horse Find Your Joy, not all that far behind. You got a trio of them here, very similar Q30 scores. So maybe a competitive race here in race number 2. Looking like the 3-horse, your lone front runner. Everybody kind of want to be middle back. The 3 doesn't need the lead, has some flexibility in there. But according to the early pace, he's likely to have the lead, but not by a whole lot. The 2 to its inside might keep that one honest as they're coming home. Irish Jackson has the most late speed along with Book of Wisdom. And there's that 2-horse again, Street Jam. Our top total pace horse is the 2 Street Jam, 5 points better than the next 3, basically. And every 5 points equates to about 1 length. So if pace makes race, the 2-horse makes its way to the front at the finish line. Terry, what do you think?
I think so. That's 2 Street Jam is my top pick, switches to a high percentage winning trainer. And this trainer wins 23% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse. She has a highest speed figure at today's distance. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. Has a high percentage winning jockey as well. All those boxes marked off. Number 1, Irish Jackson's my second choice, finishing the money in 6 races out of 8 career starts. Won 2 of the races, drops in class today, and has the highest last speed rating. Find Your Joy, the 5 is my third choice, ran second versus similar in her last race, has a high percentage winning jockey, and a trainer who wins 19% of the claiming races he has a horse running in. Jackson Avenue, the 6 is my long shot, finished third in her last race and has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play the very first pick for Miami Vice, Don Johnson, the 1-2-5-6 with the 3-7, with the 1-4-6, with the 2-4, with the 2-6-7 and 8. $48 ticket.
My first pick too is that 2-horse with the top total pace of 6 points better than the next closest horse, and it's the only horse in the race that has a par race on its resume. Number 1, Irish Jackson. This one's been in the money, 6 out of 8 at Aqueduct. Consistent performer, but tends to take off a few speed figure points in the second start after a layoff, usually 3. Number 5, Find Your Joy. This one was better across the board with all of its race internals last time out, making a third start up after a layoff for the first time in its career. So maybe this horse is at peak health right now. And Camus, the 3 horse. Well, this one has a great chance to be forward. Could go wire to wire. It was a pretty tough call for me over the 7 horse Book of Wisdom, which would have been my next choice. My pick 4, I'm going to go 1, 2 with 3, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2, 3, 7, and 8. So I can make it through the first 2 legs. Some decent coverage in the back half of the early pick 4. Race 3, Terry, before we go on to race 3, when the show is over, right here on horseracingtoday.net, you'll see on the front page a replay of today's show, a recap along with all of our comments. And then in the description on YouTube, we will also post timestamp every race so you can come back and watch them individually. And please click on that HRT gear right there, folks. And then when you're there, you can come over here and get yourself a great number 4 hat. Yeah, lucky number 4 today, Terry. All right, mister, what's race 3 all about?
All right, we're going to go to a mile, so it's stretching out a little bit. $16,000 claiming race, a $32,000 purse for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races, or 3-year-old fillies.
So when you look at a mile, they're going to run a couple of them in a row here. So pay attention to race number 3. The bias does favor Stalker. Still 1 out of 4 wins. If it can get the lead to the quarter-mile marker, it can carry it all the way to the 1-turn mile finish line, right about there. The rail is fair. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 and out play under par, and the closer you are to the rail, the better off you are in race number 3, Terry. So if you got some speed to the inside, you got a chance. And well, it looks like there's speed in the middle and there's speed on the outside.
Yeah, they all show some kind of speed, but as you said, that 3 and that 7 have the most speed. The 1 has an overlay 3-1 to 8-1. 2 has an overlay from 3-2 to 8-1, and the 5 has an overlay from 9-1 to 15-1. All but the 4 and 5 have par plus numbers. All of the horses have C zones.
Yeah, it could be. Well, you got the 3 with that great chance to get to the lead with the highest C zone. A lot of times that combination can be lethal if it gets to the lead. 3 and 7 want to be your front runners. The 1 pressure horse, 2, 4, 5. So sort of a balanced beginning. Does look like that 7 horse, the heavy early morning line favorite, is the fastest when the gates open by a pretty good number. Although everybody to its inside except the 4 and 5 will put that horse to the test. Make sure it doesn't get away too easily. When the race comes to a close, the pressure horse, Karen's Honor, along with Dolce Serrera, are your 2 best closers. The other closer here, the 2 horse, that one might be just a touch ahead of the 5 as they come around the turn, so it could be difficult for the 5 to get up around them. Our top total pace horses were usually the top 4. Well, if it's 70% of the time the winner didn't come out of that, we'd be disappointed. But that's usually where you find your winners. Terry, this is where I don't know what is going on today. This is usually where we find your winners. I don't know if my computer's just updating while we're doing the show or what, but I'm about to throw it through the wall. Terry, who's your winner?
I like the 7 Spring Magic. She ran second versus Tupper in last race, has a high speed figure at today's distance and a high percentage winning jockey. She has a trainer who wins 19% of the claiming races. He has a horse running in. Lady Jasmine, the 3, is my second choice, came off of the turf and won her last race and she on the dirt, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 2, Starry Night Midnight, is my third choice. She finished second in her last race and can handle the distance. Dole Sarah is my long shot to 5. Finished third in her last race, and her best dirt speed is fastest than the average winning speed. I'm going to play the second pick 4. I'm going to use the 3-7 with the 1-4-6 with the 2-6-7 and 8. Finish up with the 2-1-2-4-9, $48 cost.
The 7 horse, big favorite in here, 4 to 5 morning line. Really didn't want to go with that one at the top of my picks, but it does clearly look like the best horse in here. Top last race speed figure, 6 points better than the next. All of the race internals were better. Has the most upside in the race. Lady Jasmine, the 3-horse, the only other horse with a par race on its resume, top C-zone, and the best jockey trainer combination in the mix. Starry Midnight is our simulation favorite in here at 3-2. Better early pace and faster fractions last out. Those can be a pretty good combination. And then finally, the 1-horse Karen's Honor. Lone P horse, we saw that in our pace setup in there, and a really good chance to be a better horse in the second start after a layoff with one of the top C-zone scores to boot. My second pick 3-7 like you with all of the horses. I don't have the 1. Why don't I have the 1 horse in there? I'm supposed to have the 1, but 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 with 2, 3, 7, 8 with the 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing there, but that's what I did in race number 4. Are we sure the 1's not the horse not scratched in that race 4, the 1 horse?
It could be. Let me look and see. Yep, 1 is scratched.
So what do we want to do with your pick 4 there?
Oh, okay. Let's see. That's in the first which race? That's in the 4th race, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go with the.
So you also have the 1 in your pick.
Yeah, let's go with the 5.
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Race 3, you have race 4, 4, 6. I guess you want the 5 there.
Oh, in race 3? No, the scratch is in race 4. So it would be 4.
So race 4, you have the 1. You have 4, 6, and 5.
Yeah, 4, 6, 5, and then 7. If the 1's scratched.
So yeah, you didn't have the.
I'll fix it.
Let's go to race number 4 as our next endeavor. Terry, what's cooking there?
All right, race 4 is. Let me get to where I'm supposed to be here. It's a 1 mile claiming race, $350,000 or $35,000 claiming race. It's $45,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races or 3-year-olds.
The mile we saw in race number 3 will favor stalkers. Still 25% win if they can catch the lead early on. Post position, the 1, Merit, does have a fair trip around the track. 2 and 3 will get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7 play under par. And again, the closer you are to the rail, the better you are. Again, to note, it is a 1-turn mile, which typically favors horses with a little bit more early speed. So keep an eye out on that. Terry, in race number 4, who has some early speed?
All right. Well, the 5 should get there. It's got the most speed, as you can see. And then the 2 has an overlay from 7-2 to 5-1. The 3 has an overlay from the 2 has an overlay from 9-2 to 12-1. 3 has an overlay from 7-2 to 5-1. The 5 has an overlay from 3-1 and 9-2. All but the 8 show par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones, and the 5 has a really nice Q30.
And according to our Shape Racing, we're looking forward. In this situation, you'd probably want a horse that can get forward, and it sure looks like that 5 horse will be out there all by himself, all by myself. That one's about 3 lengths faster than Whiskey and Soda in Chileno. Our late speed, which I don't know how much important that's going to be, but OP Firecracker and Chileno along with Portos, but really only the 5 not fitting in. But the 5 might fit in if it can get away with an early lead. That's pretty easy on the fractions. Chileno, along with OP Firecracker, Portos, and Whiskey and Soda. Those make up your top 4 total pace horses in there. Usually the winner is in that group. Terry, most of the time the winner's in your group too.
Yep, I like the 4 Whiskey and Soda. She run 1 is last race at Saratoga. Switches a high percentage winning trainer. This trainer wins 23% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 6 is my second choice. She ran 5th versus similar in her last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 32% of the races when bringing the beaten favorite back again. And his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starter. He has a high percentage winning jockey as well. The 1 is scratched. Then we're going to go with the 5, Normandy Hero. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 31% of the races in the second race after claiming the horse, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me there.
So I think the 6 horse is the one to top here. Your second pick, we just flipped them around a little bit. Reason being, Brad Cox doesn't claim many horses, but when he does, he wins at a astounding 37%. I think he claimed like 40 horses, 43 horses on the year. That's really, for a trainer of his stature, kind of a small number. Whiskey and Soda, the 4 horse, ran the top last race speed figure, 4 points better. So the 4 points better. Crypto code in that for sure. The horse has run a couple of times at the distance and won them both. And anybody who ever follows Naira horse racing knows that you play Linda Rice first off the claim. Normandy Hero, the 5 horse, I think that one has too much of a chance to get too far out to the lead to ignore. Might not be able to hold it on to the end, but maybe fades into a place position. And then finally, the 2 horse Portos. That one's a big overlay. Top par plus horse in the field, so why not put it in there at what could be the highest odds in the race? The middle race of the card today, Terry, and there's 9 races at Aqueduct. Seemingly the internet's working now. My computer must have stopped updating. But in any case, update us on the conditions for race number 5.
All right, we're going to go to 6.5 furlongs, and we're going to do an optional claiming race, $62,500 claiming price, purse $95,000. For fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won $20,000 twice other than a maiden claiming starter or state bred allowance, or which have never won 3 races, or an optional claiming price of $62,500.
That description might be longer than the actual race, but stalkers do good there. 21% win wire to wire. The rail has been bad. So Frau Diablo, well, the lady. Two and 3 play fair. 4 through 7, that's really the best place to be. And out, get it this Terry. Speed does matter, but you just want to be more middle forward than necessarily on the front. So which horses have a chance to be in that stalker role?
Okay, as you can see here, it's a race that all of them show speed, and they're pretty close to the speed except for that 5. So it's a really who-knows race. The one has an overlay. Am I in the right? Yeah, the one has an overlay of 2-1 to 10-1. All but the 5 and 7 have par plus, and all of them have C zones.
And only one horse here, Proud Foot, being above 50%. So all these par plus numbers, meaning that this horse, the one Frau Diablo, a 36% chance to run a speed figure in our 1,000 simulations of at least 95. And that's a pretty good number, 95. You see a lot of stakes horses up, at least low level, up around that level for sure. As we look at the way this race takes shape, everybody wants to be middle forward. There's one horse in here that's a Sesame Street horse. That's that 2 horse. Everybody loves Linda. Linda Rice should own this one or claim that one for sure. But anytime you get a lone EP or lone PC, those horses merit a lot of extra attention. Got to find reasons not to like them. Look at all this early speed in here. Only I'm Buzzy, really not a part of the mix. So if you stumble out of the gate, get forced wide, any hesitation at all could put you in a really bad spot. As we come home, everybody loves Linda, not lead dependent, will be coming the hardest of all. 8 points clear of Tricky Temper. That's a pretty good late speed advantage. If that horse is close coming out of the turn, say bye-bye. And everybody loves Linda. Tricky Temper, she's a little edgy, and Willow Bend. Those are your top 4. With the top 3, the 2, 8, and 7, clearly the best from a pace standpoint. Terry, who's clearly the best in your standpoint?
Well, I like 2. Everyone loves Linda. She finished in the money 8 races out of her 10 starts at Aqueduct, winning 3 of the races, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I like number 8, Tricky Temper. She ran 7th versus similar in the last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 25% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again, and a high percentage winning jockey. The 6 Willow Blend is my 3rd choice, has finished in the money in 2 races out of the last 3 starts. She won one of those races. She has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 26% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route to a sprint and can improve while returning to the sprint. And number 7 is my long shot. She's a little edgy. It's finished in the money in 5 races out of the last 6 starts, winning 2 of the races. And her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. So there you go.
Everyone loves Linda. Right now, Rich hates his internet because it's down to 1 bar again, and I don't know why. I pay my bill on time. What's wrong with you people? Everyone loves Linda. Hit the board in 8 of 10 races at Aqueduct, 4 or 5 at the distance. Has some pretty solid works prepping for first race after some time off. She's a little edgy. This 7 horse, my next choice, comes off the bench hot. And the last time this one ran had the top last race speed figure at 8 points better than the next. And in that race, the fractions and the pace numbers were better. Tricky Temper, the 8 horse, the 3rd selection for me, facing much tougher in better stakes races and by far running at the lowest level of its last 10 races. And then the 3 horse, Fancy Azteca. Man, Richard Dutrow, you better be playing him at Aqueduct. He's winning at 46%. That's too big of a number to bet against, so I won't. I'll put him in my picks for sure. All right, let's see. Tafum, how are you today, Tafum? Good to see you. Hope everything is well in Turkey today. We're going to start to go to Gulfstream Park next week. It was my bad. I didn't. For some reason, I thought the championship meet started in January, mostly because I saw Irad running over on the East Coast, and I know he doesn't like the cold weather. He likes to be down there in Florida right from the get-go. So next week, we will start to do the championship meet down at Gulfstream Park, and we'll start using a random number generator on Wednesdays for Turfway Park. We might actually move over to Tampa, do all Florida racing. We'll see how that works out. Again, some free picks today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. You're looking at race number 1, the That's a Fancy Fox. That's one of our top bets. They may have run already. I don't know if they did or they didn't. Over at horseracingtoday.net, when the show's over, we'll post everything right here. You can click on the link. It'll give you our comments, a replay of the show. And again, when you're at here, please click the HRT gear. Get yourself some of our fresh drip. You'll love it. We're sure, Terry. And if you love the show, you love what we do, a couple things that you can do to help the show out.
Yeah, you can go ahead and subscribe to YouTube channel and get us up to that 6,000 subscriber mark, and go ahead and hit the little bell that notifies you all of the different programs we have coming up, and then copy the link below and share that with everybody you know so they can come and check us out too. Go to our social sites such as X, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, TikTok at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us a thumbs up and a like. That helps us out quite a bit. And keep those comments coming like you have right now, like Tafun has, and that helps us out too.
If you have any thoughts about any races today anywhere in the world, please let us know about them. We got 4 minutes to race number 2 at Aqueduct. So, Terry, we should be able to squeeze in race number 6 to get the late pick 4 started.
You mean
race 6, Terry? What are they running for?
Is it race 6 we're going with? Okay. It's
yeah, we just did race 5.
Okay.
Or did we not do race 5?
I thought we did. Yeah, we did.
Uh-huh.
All right. So race 6 is 1 mile and 1/8, and it's a claiming race, $25,000 claiming price. First 40,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races other than 3-year-olds.
1 mile and 1/8, which they're going to make 1 full trip around the track. They're going to start and end in the same place. So 2 turns, your horse better be fit. The type of horse that does win at 1 mile and 1/8 are closers. They've only run 10 races so far, and 2 of those 10 were won by horses that could get to the lead. With that early turn, the rail gets a bonus. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7 get a discount. 8 and out, that's the best place to be. Terry, speed not so important in race number 6, but if one of those 2 20%ers does get to the front and stay there, who are they most likely to be?
Okay, as you can see here, the 7 and 5 have the most speed. They could go head-to-head to that quarter pole. 2 has an overlay from 9 to 5 to 8 to 1. The 4 has an overlay from the 2 has an overlay from 7 to 2 to 9 to 2, and the 4 has an overlay from 9 to 5 to 8 to 1, and the 7 has an overlay from 3 to 1 to 20 to 1. 1, 4, 3, and 2 have par plus numbers, and all but the 6 have a C-zone.
Yeah, the big overlay there with Midnight Worker. That one has a big overlay. Going to be up on the lead. Strong Q30 score, almost in that 30-point range. Let's see if there's any advantages here. Well, that 7 is your lone E. If that one can get to the lead, look out, folks. 5 is another Sesame Street horse, steady progress. Got to look out for those too. So just from the race shape, a couple you keep your eye on. Most of these horses middle back, so early pace could have the edge here, despite not winning that often. Midnight Worker is a little bit faster than a few of the others in here, so it should get to the lead. Maybe the confidence grows up on the front. It can stay there. The late speed, Melt With You, that one has about a length quicker than Prove Worthy, which is about a length quicker than Ice Road, and then a couple of others in that same mix. So we look at the total race picture. Melt With You, Midnight Worker, speed versus closer, Terry. Big gap between those two and everybody else. So who do you have?
I like Melt With You, the one. He ran second versus similar in his last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning favorite. Trainer who wins 31% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again, and a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like number 2, Prove Worthy. He has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. The Rail Post is winning at a 20% clip, and his best start speed is fast among today's starters. Ice Road, the 4 is my third pick. He won his last race at Aqueduct, and then Indian Quest, the 9 long shot. He drops in class today and can improve on his third startup since the layoff. And then I'm going to play the last pick 4, 1, 2, 4, 9 with the 2, 3, 8, with the 1, 6, with the 1, 2, 4, 11. I think that's a $48 cost.
Yeah.
You're freezing again.
Yeah, I know. I hate the internet today. I see. I'm going to start with the 2. My internet, something it hasn't done today, prove itself worthy on that horse that will be rolling hard at the end. It's one of 2 horses that has managed to hit par in its most recent races and has the most upside in the race. Melt With You, the 1 horse, top last race speed figure, 4 points better than the next closest competitor, better fractions last out too. But I'm not the biggest fan of horses coming up I-95 from Philadelphia and Parks. Midnight Worker, that 7 is that lone E. It is one of our simulation favorites as well. Should be out front. That's where it wants to be in its third start after a layoff. And then finally, the 4-horse Ice Road, steady performer, should be coming at the end, much like the 2 horse. I'm going to go 1, 2, 7. Hopefully that long shot brings home the flag there. 2, 8, 11, 3, 6, 7, 1, 2, 4, because I couldn't find a race where I only wanted to go for just 2 horses. All right, race number 2 is about to get going. We had some good timing there. Maybe all the little internet delays are setting us up nicely. I'm going to lose my mind today, I'm telling you right now. It looks like they were ready to go and they pulled a 1 horse out. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Or maybe my screen went backwards. I have no idea. Anyway, in race number 2, are they going to get a late scratcher or something? Is that what's going on? The 2 horse Street Jam is your current favorite at 8-5, so not the strongest of favorites. Looks like we had it at 5-2. So if you're looking for some value in this race, well, the 3 horse, that's 22-1. We had it at 11. Good chance for that one to go around the track on the lead. The 4 horse, 6-1. We have it at 5-1. 5 horse, that one is your favorite right now. Find Your Joy. Well, one of the favorites at 2-1. And the 7 horse, a little bit of value there too. So I think if you're going to make a play here and you want to go for a long shot where maybe you get some value, the 3 horse can get to the lead and maybe stay there at 22-1, Mr. Terry.
Yep.
But I won't know because my computer continues to spin and spin and spin and spin and spin. And I don't know what in the hell is going on because usually that doesn't last very long. But today it seems to want to be persistent. Okay. They're off and they're running. And right now, Massaria is out to the lead, but the 3 horse is giving chase as well. But also now the 5 horse. Everybody trying to run in for the lead there. So this race could set up for horses that want to come from off the pace. We'll see. The 5 and the 3 are running pretty aggressively early on. The 7 horse right there to the outside. Looks like that one's going to make a pretty strong move to the outside. Here comes the 6. The 1 and the 2, they're all the way in the back of the pack, although they are closing ground. I don't know that they have enough ground to run around these horses all at the end, although those horses in the front all went pretty quick. They're making the turn for home. I don't know, Terry, who's going to catch this trophy here. It looks like maybe it's going to be. Looks like the 6 horse might find its way to the winner's circle there. Here's that the 4 horse. Tough to tell. No, it's going to go 6 and then 1, 2. So 9-1. Good way for you to start your pick 4, Terry, with Jackson Avenue coming home at 9-1.
All right.
With Katie Davis and Linda Dixon. I don't know if that's the 4, though. It's tough to tell because I can't tell. Let's see. Yeah, that's the 6 horse. All right, perfect. Let's go off to race number 7. 3 races to go today at Aqueduct. 7 furlongs for race number 7.
That's right. So at 7 furlongs, we're going to be an optional claim race, $45,000 claiming price. And it's purse of $85,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, foaled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry, which have never won $20,000 twice other than maiden claiming or starter, or which have never won 3 races, or an optional claiming price of $45,000.
7 furlongs, the only time we'll see it today, much like the longer race. 18% go wire to wire, but mostly closers get the job done. Small rail discount for Miss Lau. 2 and 3 get a bonus. 4 and 7 get a discount. 8 and out, that's the best place to be, Terry. If you're going to be on the front, which one has the best chance to be there?
Well, it appears to me that the 8 and the 4 kind of have the most speed. Wait a minute, I'm in the 7th race. Yeah, I have the wrong information here. Oh, well. Are we in the right race here? There we go. Yeah, it looks to me like the 8 and the 4 have the best speed. They could go head to head. And then that 1 has an overlay 5-2 to 5-1. 3 has an overlay 7-1 to 12-1. 6 has an overlay from 12-1 to 15-1. And the 11 has an overlay from 9-2 to 10-1. All but the 6 and 9 have par plus. All of them but the 11 have C-zone, and the 4 has a nice Q30. So.
And our race shape for the 7th race today, well, pretty balanced. 3 forward, 5 back, maybe again a little edge to the front runners. The Shoe Lady, well, we've seen front runners kind of hang in there today. The Shoe Lady, the quickest of the bunch there is the E. The 8 and 9, they want to be in the pressure position. That's exactly where they'll be. All the others want to be middle back, and that's where they'll be as well. So everybody should be where they want to be on the track today. The PC type here, the 1, the 2, and the 3 have the most late speed, although they're not a big difference except for the 9 and the 4. So those front runners might be out there as bunnies to chase. Spiteful Lily, that one pops up there as the top total pace horse. These 3 here, 1, 2, and 8, 5 points better than the 3. Again, top 4 usually produces the winner. Terry, you produced the winner in race 2, produced the winner in race 7.
Well, I like the 8, Spiteful Lily. She had trouble in her last race, running 6th as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer. Wins 25% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again. She is 1 for 1 at today's distance, so the distance won't be a problem. Number 2, Maggie's Palace. His second choice, finished 3rd in her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, Carapera. The 3, or Carapera, is the 3rd choice, has finished in the money in her last 6 starts, winning 3 of the races, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. The Shoe Lady, the 4, is my long shot, finished 3rd in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No additional bets for me here.
The 8 horse, Spiteful Lady. Looks like the horse loves to perform after some rest, like today. Number 11, Moisienko, along with the 8, the only horse in the race that has a par race on its resume. The 2, Maggie's Palace. That one says you can expect a big bounce in the 3rd start after a layoff. And the Shoe Lady, going to be forward today. And that one should enjoy being forward with Manny Franco. He likes front runners. And that Q30 score of 36%, meaning there's 36% of all the Quirin points. And James Quinn, in his book, The Complete Handicapper, says any horse with a 30 or better be bet blindly because over time they produce a positive ROI. No additional bets for me either. Race 8, 2 races to go. Race 8 will start the late daily double. It's the last double we'll do this week. Tomorrow, Tom and I will be back for Randwick. As I mentioned earlier in the week, Foreign Friday is going to go down under. Indeed, that's what we're going to do. And if you don't want to miss, because we usually find some nice long shots on Foreign Fridays, you don't want to miss those long shots, Terry. What's the best way to make sure you know all about them?
Well, you need to subscribe to the YouTube and go ahead and hit that bell so they'll tell you about when that Foreign Friday shows get started. Go ahead and copy the link below and share it with your neighbors, relatives, everybody saying, come check us out. Go to our social sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us thumbs ups and likes. That helps us out a lot and keeps those comments and picks coming on the right-hand side of our screen here. So that we know what's going on with you guys, and also helps our algorithms.
Yeah, maybe too, if you head on over to horseracingtoday.net, hit that HRT gear, and pick yourself up a hat or a sweatshirt or something. I might be able to get an internet that works for the duration of a show. Race A, Terry, another one of these long ones at 1 1/8 where they're going to make one trip around the track. How do they qualify to get into this one?
All right, so we're going to go at 1 1/8, the optional claiming race, 62,500. Purse 95,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 20,000 twice, other than maiden claiming starter or state bred allowance, or which have never won 3 races, or an optional claiming price of 62,500.
1 1/8, as we mentioned, a couple of races back. Closers do good, 2 out of 10 so far, 1 wire to wire. Donegal Surges should get itself a little bit of a bonus on the rail. 2-3, play fair, 4 and out, discount, 8 and out, the best place to be. In race number 8, Terry, do we have any speed that merits extra consideration?
No, it don't appear to. They've all got some speed there, and a lot of them are pretty close. So I think it's an anyone guess race. 4 has an overlay from 9-1 to 12-1. 6 has an overlay from 7-2 to 5-1, and the 8 has an overlay from 2-1 to 15-1, which is really a nice overlay. All but the 2 have par plus, and all have C zones.
In the 8th race, well, it would be a pretty competitive spot here because nobody really wants to close. A lot of flexibility with everybody but the 7, so this race can go a whole lot of different ways. The 7 wants the lead. The 7 should get the lead, though some similar speed to its inside. So the 6 could make Mama's Gold really work. As the race finishes, winds to a close, Margin of Error has the most late speed with Magical Ways. And then as you look at your top total pace horse in here, it is Margin of Error, 6 points better than Summer Cause, Magical Ways. All the way down at the bottom is Donegal Surges. That's your best bet, Terry. Why does the bottom pace guy get the top pick of the day?
Well, I like the one Donegal Surges. He finished 3rd in his last race. The rail post winning 20% clip. He has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Number 6, Margin of Error, is my second choice. Finished in the money in 10 of his last 10 starts, winning 5 of those races, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Mama's Gold, the 7, likes Parks Racing, been in the money 47% of the races, winning 33% of the starts. And the distance won't be a problem. It is finished in the money in 80% of the races, winning 60% of those. And he has a high percentage winning jockey. Yo Daddy, the 3 is my long shot. Won his last race at Aqueduct, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to bet $26 to win, $32 to place on number 1, $2 exacta box 1, 3, 6, and 7, and a $6 exacta 1 on top with the 3, 6, 7.
I'm going to go with the 6 horse Margin of Error as the one to get the job done here. Top total pace, as we saw, was 6 points better than everybody else. The only time this horse ran at Aqueduct, put up its career best performance, maybe a horse for the course. Yo Daddy, this one's been facing off against better horses than it's going to see today. Mama's Gold ran the top last race speed figure, 6 points better than anybody else, has the most upside in the race, should be at the front like we saw. And then Donegal Surges, this one primarily runs in low-level stakes races. I don't think they're necessarily targeting this race today because if you look at the Circulum Vita, this one struggles typically in its first start after a layoff, but the class is definitely there. 20 to win, 10 to place on the 6 horse for me to close out my budget and to close out our week today after a very frustrating bout of internet inconsistency. Terry, What are they going to do in race number 9 to ease some of that frustration for me?
We're going to go back to 6 furlongs as a maiden claiming race, $30,000 claiming price. Purse $38,000 for maidens 3-year-olds and upward, foaled in New York State and approved by the New York State Registry.
Yes, to win its first race, early speed does good at 6 furlongs. We saw that in the first 2 races at Parks. 46% of the time, the horse wins on the lead. Post positions are mostly fair, 1 through 7, a small bump for 8 and out. All right, Terry, speed's going to matter in race number 9 to close the show. And it looks like All of a Suddenly has a lot of it.
That's right. Number 4 has all the speed in the world in here compared to the rest of them. Should get to that quarter pole first. That 1 has an overlay of 5 to 1 to 6 to 1, and the 10 has an overlay of 4 to 1 to 10 to 1. The 10, 4, 1, and 11 have the best par plus numbers, and 4, 10, 5, and 1A has the best C zones.
Pretty competitive race as always. These low-level claiming races, just about anything could happen. But we do know when the horses have run their best, the 4 has been on the lead. That alone right there, lone E against a whole bunch of horses that want to come from the middle of the back. 2 horse could be up in front too. That 4 horse gets an easy lead. It could be an easy win. Does look like 3, 4. Well, a lot of these horses tightly packed in there. So again, getting off to a good start is going to be key for all of those horses. Not so important for drive through the 1 horse. That one should be closing at the end. The 10 should be closing as well as the 7. Very similar numbers all the way down to the speed horse, the 4. Our top total pace horses in here are the 1, the 11, the 2, and the 7, although the 4 is tied in there. So maybe 5 horses to look at. Maybe the 8 horse is a first-time starter too, but usually you don't start quality horses in their first run in the maiden claiming ranks, so maybe you can overlook the 8, Terry. I overlooked them. Looks like you overlooked them. We had the same picks, just in a little different order.
Yeah, we sure do. And I like the 4 all of a sudden lead. The 4, that's cute. The 4, he ran second versus similar in his last race. Has a high percentage between trainer and jockey. Magic Beach, the 2 is my second choice. Finished third versus similar in his last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Drive through the 1. May improve while trying dirt and drops in class today. Has a high percentage winning trainer as well. The 11 is my long shot. He ran second versus tougher in his last race. Drops in class today. Has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 22% of the races when dropping a horse down 2+ classes. And his best dirt speed is fast among today's starters. I don't have any other money, so I can't make any other bets.
Drive through the 1 horse just needs typical second race improvement. That's all that's needed to win here. The 4 horse all of a suddenly responded well in the first dirt run last time out, third up, after showing some better early pace than its last. Magic Beach, the 2 horse, that one, maybe the most untapped potential, making just its 3rd career start. And Shirazando, the 11 horse, to close out the week, maybe a class dropper, plenty of upside and par races on its resume. No additional bets for me. If we look at the totality of our picks for today, they'll be right here. So far in race number 1, the 3 horse one,
yes,
and then the 6 horse one, race number 2. Here are our thoughts for the rest of this day. Again, Tom and I will be back tomorrow for Randwick next Monday. I think we're on a normal schedule next week. It's the following week that's Christmas week, where our schedule will be much lighter. So we'll do Parks Monday and Tuesday. Not quite sure what we'll do Wednesday. We'll go to Gulfstream for next Thursday for the championship meet. Terry, before we get back together next Monday, any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, just want to let everybody know to have a good week and be safe. Don't get too cold with this cold weather. And thank the folks that talked to us today. And tell Tavon if he needs Gulfstream Park bets, he should go to GTS. I put a link in there for him to go. They've already won the first race with their first choice, so they're off to a running start. And then just see you guys tomorrow. I mean, Monday.
Monday. Again, free picks today. Mahoning Valley, guaranteed tip sheet. You mentioned that. Link in the description below. Just a minute from now, we'll have a recap of the show right here on horseracingtoday.net. You can click on that. You'll see all of our comments as well as a replay of the show on YouTube. In the description, we will timestamp all the races so that you can come back. I want to say that during the show, we did finally get over 6,000 subscribers. So thank you, whoever the 6,000th was. It was all of you, because it's a cumulative effect. So we appreciate that. Now to 10,000 now. That's where they really unlock the door at YouTube with extra additional tools. All right, well, folks, that's it for this week for Terry and I. No matter what you're doing until we get together again tomorrow for Randwick or next Monday and Tuesday for Parks, we hope that every endeavor you chase has God's grace, God's favor, and ends up in
winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks, everybody. I'm looking forward to turning off the internet, and have a great weekend.